Okay, welcome. I believe we're in week 7, going to be altar groups. We're going to do what I call peg posing. So some of you have seen this before. I'm going to give you a quick lesson on what I do at the altar and the little system that I've devised, and just worked it out through the years, kind of created my own little way of solving some problems, and also practice with my little pegs a lot, and that's how I was able to come up with my system. And I used to practice with this and photograph them and then look at them and analyze them and see what happens. So I've come up with a lot of variations using my little pegs. And so what I have is a little bride and a little groom, and then got bridesmaids and groomsmen, okay? And I've even got little kids and things in here. I have all different heights of these things. So for me, I have the heights written right on the side, so we'll be able to solve problems, and I can cheat a little bit knowing how tall they are by the numbers on there. First, let's talk just a little bit about doing the altar stuff. The system that I've devised is, again, in my theory of doing weddings, is something that looks good but can be done very quickly. And when I have to, for those of you who've shot weddings with me, when I have to put the afterburners on at the altar, I can do it and get them pretty nice just by using, again, my basic system. Like we've talked about the basic 6 and the different things. Having just a set of poses that work, no matter how little time someone gives you, you could still knock off 5 or 6 poses in 2 or 3 minutes if you had to. So, you can't knock off that many in the altar here with all the family groups that fast. But again, a couple of times we mentioned about some of the churches here, one in particular that I shoot at a lot. One Saturday they come up and they told me I had 12 minutes to do my altar groups because the priest went over. The following week, same church, they come up to me and said I had 4 minutes to do my altar groups because the priest went over. And their time starts, so if you have a 1 o'clock ceremony, it goes till 2. Your time started at 2 to 2:30, even if the priest went to 2:20. Your time started while he was still having the ceremony. I just feel like I want to walk up and say, okay, it's my time now, ceremony's over. So anyways, that's how it works. So again, you have to have a system that you can do these as fast as you can, and that's kind of what I've come up with here. I think it works pretty well. So some of the common problems I've written down, maybe we can add to these, you can tell me. Normally I'll just do this with questions, but we always seem to come up with the same problem. So, problem 1 at the altar has got to be not enough time. Okay, for those of you that are veteran wedding shooters. Height problems when you have, a bride this tall and a groom this tall. Okay, how to solve that. Odd numbers in the bridal party. I don't know how many of you realize that's a problem, but it's a huge problem. That will throw your groups off if you don't know what to do with that. Someone that's handicapped or in a wheelchair, okay, might be a problem. So we're going to show you how to solve that. Poor lighting, obviously we're going to talk about that. Let's see, if there are no stairs, we'll show you how to do some things with no stairs. And one that no one ever thinks of when I ask these questions is when the stairs are going the wrong way or going away from you. Huge problem. You have a lens, convex lens going like this, and you've got stairs going away. If you use them, not only is when you normally would pose people in a straight line, your ends are a little bit out of focus because they, at the ends, are farther from the center of the lens than the center people you focused on. When the stairs are going away and you use those stairs, those people are twice as far and out of focus. Huge problem. So you need to know how to solve that because there's a couple churches around here that definitely have stairs like that. Okay? So any other problems you might commonly run into besides that? Those the biggies?
Would F11 be a solution for the last problem you mentioned with the groups going back?
Well, higher f-stop helps, certainly, because you get better depth of field, but you also have to have a flash that can have the output to do it. So if you're doing a group of 18 or 20 and you got to be back farther to get them in, you ain't going to get F11 out of it. So it's only a teeny part of the solution. There's actually a better way to solve that, at least in my opinion, so I'll show you how to do that. But certainly gaining an f-stop never hurts anytime you're in doubt. Okay? But I'm going to show you how to do it without changing f-stops, because the reason I don't like that, as soon as you change that f-stop and you forget to change it back. Okay? So what I do is when I walk up to the altar, I take my 3 or 4 lenses. I'll take my fisheye lens, I'll take my 40, take a 65, and my 105 or 110. Those are the 4 I'll go up to the altar with. I set them all at 5.6 right at the beginning and I put them down. That way when I got to grab one when I'm running nutty, it's already on 5.6. So I shoot my altar groups at 5.6. Hey, surprise, I shot a lot of the wedding at 5.6, didn't I? Remember that? All right, so I like shooting my altar groups at 5.6. Okay, why? Again, I like that little bit of depth of field control. 2, when I'm shooting with a 65 or a 40 or anything, obviously it's still plenty of depth of field. And 3, my flash can handle that when I got to back up for a larger group, or if I'm in at 10 feet, it's on automatic, I'm getting 5.6. If I got to go back to 20 feet, it's still going to give me 5.6. Never have to think. Again, I try to make it simple. So I set my flash on 5.6, I set my lens on 5.6, and no matter what lens I do, unless I really have to get back, that is all on. So here's my settings at the altar, just so you have them. Again, I'm always on a tripod at the altar. Always, always, always. A, to stop movement. B, so my crops are exact. C, so I can stand there and just pull a trigger while I'm looking at my group to see if anything happens. Okay, I'm never looking through my camera taking a picture at the altar, ever. Okay, so my settings are my lens at 5.6, my flash at 5.6. I'm either at an 1/8 or a 1/4 of a second. Unless it's a really, really, really bright church, then I might jump up to a 15th or a 30th. I'll go up and meter it. I did have a church 2 weeks ago. It was a 30th of a second up there at 5.6½. I mean, it was a bright church. I had the best ceremony shots. It was unbelievable. So when that happens, I will bump up my shutter speed because, again, we don't want the ambient overpowering the flash too much in there, right? So always like to have my ambient on the background a stop less than my foreground. So usually if you're at 4 1/4 is pretty common for a ceremony at 400 speed. My flash is at 5.6 at 1/4. My group is 1 stop brighter than my background. Okay, to me that's the best ratio. It's what I like when I see my photos. Okay, and again, this is not the right way. It's certainly not the only way. It's just my way. It's how I do it. Okay, keeps it simple, keeps it flying. Okay, so let's talk about a few of the problems here. And by the way, here's my camera. Let me bring it into camera view. This is exactly what I shoot all my altar groups with. No softboxes off camera, no second lights, no any of that stuff. Okay, I can just tell you the bazillion horror stories I've had and I've seen other studios have when guys try to introduce second lights at the altar. Now, I do have a second light over there. There's one exception I do at the end of my shoot with that. One exception at the end of my shoot. That is it. While I'm banging out all my altar groups, that's what it looks like. The only thing that changes is my lens. Nothing else. Okay, and if you look at all my altar groups, hey, they're not softbox lit and they're not having a backlight and they're not doing all the fancy things, but when the church gives me 12 or 4 minutes to do my groups, not going to happen. So I'm going up there, I'm at 5.6, I'm on 1/4, bang, 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 bang. Nothing's changing except the lens here or there. My last ones of the bride and groom together, when I want to do a back profile and then add the groom in for a double profile looking off camera or him looking over his shoulder, I'll add in the second light off camera. Last photos. That prevents me from forgetting to turn that off later, or since I changed my setting on here, it's the final time I will change my setting. This will go from 5.6 down to f4. That's at f8. I shoot at f8 for those last 2 shots. Even bump up the shutter a little bit, two notches. Usually I'll go to a 60th, 30th or a 60th, so the background goes even a little darker, and I want that nice dramatic profile lighting coming in on the bride and groom. Okay? Then I don't have to worry about forgetting anything on my next shot because I'm done. But again, even after you're done with that shot, immediately change your gear back because you're going to use that camera again for something else. Get it set for your next thing. So let's talk quickly the theory that, see if it works, my little theory on how to do things. And I'll explain it, and then we'll do some applications, and then we'll start with our groups. Okay, so camera heights, or body heights. If we have a bride and groom, okay, this is a 6-foot groom, and these are to scale, and this is a 5'6" bride. Pretty common, okay? And that's okay, we'd let them get away with that. If I had a real problem with that, bride would be on one of my little blocks. I carry a whole set of these. I take them right to the altar. Bride would be on a little block. It's not going to show because I'm going to pull her train around. No one's going to know it's there. So if you get the 5'1" bride and the 6'3" groom, guarantee you she's going to be on there. And sometimes I go, oh, that's not going to look natural. I tell them, look, you're still, a foot shorter than him. Trust me, it's okay. So I'll just put him at ease and say, no, it's going to look great. That's just raising you up a couple inches. He's still a foot taller than you. but it'll look a lot nicer in the photos. Don't want them like this up at the altar. Does not look good. Okay? So that's how I solve height problems. Very simple solution. Again, I'm not like the smartest guy in the world, but I do think of things and try to keep them very simple so that I can do them and I can pass them along. So I use that, and you'll see as we do groups, I use those for other people in the bridal party. I'll use them all the way through my posing groups, and they work well. Okay? Number 2 is odd numbers. When you get an odd number up there, here's the theory, and this is a key point. I'd write this down. Solve the problem first. And this is what I'm going to tell you all the way through on every one of these problems is solve your problem first. And you'll see what I mean by that, but I'm telling you, solve your problem first. Okay, so my problem is this. I have a bride and groom. You come up here on the stairs. And let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groomsmen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bridesmaids. Okay, random heights, whatever I got there. Okay, so I got 5 and 5. All right, let me turn them so I can see heights just so I can do this properly because I'm doing it upside down and backwards. Okay, so here's what we have to do. Posing in pairs is very easy. If we have 2 and 2, well, 2s and 2s are very easy. Okay, but when we have odd numbers, 5 bridesmaids, 5 groomsmen, first thing we want to do, my problem is I have an odd number at the altar. So I want to eliminate the odd number. So I can do one of 2 things. I can ask one couple not to be in the photos. Okay, or I can take one couple. Maybe it's the best man maid of honor. If I see they're the right height, it will be the best man maid of honor. If they're not the right height, then I'm going to look for the bride's brother and the groom's sister. And if they're not the right height, I'm going to pick the guy because he's the best college friend that the groom had, and I'm going to give him the place of honor. All I'm looking for is the height I want, okay, which are going to be the 2 shortest people. Okay, so in my group here, I have my shortest girl is 5'3". My shortest guy is 5'6". 2 shortest, I solve my problem first. Now, I don't put the guys with the groom. I go the opposite because, you can see again, color-wise, to me it works well. Now, the first thing you notice, I'm always going to work in triangles. Whether they're inverted or regular triangles, I'm always working with triangles in my shape. Okay? So, here is my whole theory of posing at the altar after you solve the problem first. Okay? Does anybody remember from last seminar that was at it? What's the first rule we do at the altar? What goes up first? Anybody remember? 2 tallest men. Okay? So, here's how I start every altar group. I've solved my problem. Problem's no more there. I've got a 6 and a 6'6" guy here, randomly drawn. Okay? I want my tallest guy, since the groom's taller, he's going to go 1 stair above the groom. 1 stair. Oop, let me sneak these in. See, upside down and backwards. I can't see where I'm going here. 1 stair over the bride. Now, if that starts to look bad to me, Mark gets one of his little posing blocks, and we'll raise that guy up so they're relatively even. You see the triangles forming already? Okay? So, 2 tallest guys first. So this is the whole system. 2 tallest guys, 2 shortest girls, next 2 tallest girls, and then build from there. So my first 6, after I solve a problem, 2 tallest guys, 2 shortest girls, next 2 tallest girls. So now I'm going to take my next 2 shortest girls. I got a 5'3" and a 5'6". Because they're a stair taller, these 2 guys are actually the same height, these 2 guys are actually the same height. Because I got a stair there, they're automatically taller. Look at my inverted triangle. Okay? My girls again. I did 2 girls, doing 2 more girls. I can either go down if I have a wide altar, or I could go up if I don't. Then my last 2 groomsmen, and I'm going to go a little wider. Okay? It's just posing in couples after you solve the problem. Okay? So let's show you this in a little simpler version. Okay. Let's get rid of one guy and one girl. Okay? Here is basic philosophy. Bride and groom, one steer up. Two tallest men first. Tallest guy over the groom's shoulder. Tallest guy over the bride's shoulder. Looking a little bit funny to me. This is a hair thicker than I'd want it, but I'd probably give him, let me grab a 5'9" guy so it'll look a little more realistic since I don't have adjustable blocks for these things. I'd get those two guys similar height. So step one, two tallest. Get one more guy back in here. Two shortest girls. That's my first four on the altar after the bride and groom. Next two tallest girls. Next two tallest guys. And again, I can't from upside down and backwards. My only problem teaching it from this direction. Okay? Two tallest, two shortest, next two girls, two guys. Okay, so when it's even numbers like that, it's very simple. And the only thing that changed was when we had the two extra people, one extra groomsman, one extra bridesmaid, and we solved that problem first by sticking them down in front. So a little out of place, but it was solving the problem first, which was eliminating the two odd people. Okay, create an even number. All right? Because here's what I get a lot of times when there's odd numbers. I'll get all the time, photographers will do something like this. And I have the whole group tipping to one side. Because I'll put 3 couples on the right, 2 couples on the left. Happens all the time. So you got to be able to make a symmetrical group, otherwise the picture's tipping over. Okay, and this is probably the weakest spot I see in most photographers' work. Someone will bring me their portfolio in when they're looking for a job. They'll have a lot of nice stuff throughout the day. I go to their altar groups right away. 9 out of 10, this is the disaster area. Okay, yes, sir?
So get rid of one person if there's an odd one, you said? No, one person, not one couple.
One odd. So we're going to go right into that next. Yep, I'm going to give you, let you challenge me and give me any combinations you want. Last weekend I had 7 groomsmen, 4 bridesmaids. Okay, I'll show you how to solve that. That's what Jeremy's asking. Okay, I'm going to get into that in just a second. Okay, now, next problem. Okay, so problem of odd numbers in the group, which is still going to apply to what Jeremy's asking, whether it's an odd person or an odd set of couples, is solve the problem. Let's do it. Let's do what Jeremy's asking real quick. So Jeremy's saying, what if we got 5 guys and 4 girls, correct? Whoop, and a drunk bride. All right. Yeah. All right. So Jeremy's saying, now, I have a little center line here again so I can tell where this is at. So is there a line right here?
Yes.
Okay, you can see down the center. I have split the center, the bride and groom, for all that combinations. Once you have an odd number and an even number, the rules change. Key point here. The center, if it's an odd man, the female becomes center. I've had 5 bridesmaids and 4 groomsmen. The groom would become center. Okay, in this case, it's 5 groomsmen, 4 bridesmaids. So now the bride is right down the middle. And I know the groom is about 6 foot, so I'm going to look around and I'm going to go look for someone else that's 6 foot. I'm going to say, oh, hey, Marcin, you're the groom's brother, aren't you? Come on up, you get the place of honor. For whatever reason it is, I'm going to pick him, but it's really because he's the height I need. So I'm going to put him right there. What have I got? My inverted triangle starting already. Now what do I have left? 4 and 4. Did I solve my problem already? Solve the problem first. Otto, first rule, after solving the problem. 2 tallest guys. Said I'm not very bright, so my system, I keep it easy. Okay? 2 tallest guys would go a steer up. Again, I'd get my little posing block, which we lost somewhere in there. My posing block drunk too. What's that? Oh, hey, I'm drunk. Okay. Pretty bad. I don't even drink and I'm drunk. Okay. 2 tallest guys, inverted triangle started. Next rule, Otto.
2 shortest girls.
2 shortest girls.
Mark, do you worry about the opposing block being in the photograph?
No, I will put a kid there. I will put something there. And if it's causing me trouble, then I won't use it. Never have I shown one. I will always find something to put there, a dress, something. So there's always something there. Okay, next rule after 2 girls, 2 shortest girls.
2 tallest girls.
Next tallest girls. And last 2 guys. Again, I can't tell if my space, for me it looks straight on. I think I'm straight on for you guys. Works the same. And that's what I like about the system I created. Once you solve your problem, the pose stays the same. Now, it doesn't mean I don't have variations off this, because I do. I'll show you. And you're going to see how well this works with people. Okay, that solve your question, Jeremy? Okay, now.
So in this case, you've never worried about having any pairs other than the bride and groom?
No, and the last thing I would ever do at the altar is pose them in pairs, only if it's requested. I'll say, you know what, let me do one of my version here because it's real important I do this according to height. So symmetrically, it looks great. And then if you want, I can do another one as couples. 99% of people say, oh, no, I'll just do what you think. I say, I could do a couple shot later at the park. Something like that. Okay? At the altar, though, I want them exact. For me, personally, that's just how I want it. Another photographer might tell you they got to be in couples. For me, that creates all kinds of problems because they start pairing them up in funky combinations, and now you're stuck trying to solve a little problem everywhere you go in that. And when I'm at the altar trying to go 80 miles an hour, I don't want to deal with more problems than I already have. Okay? Now, let's say it was an extra bridesmaid and not an extra groomsman. So what would happen? Groom becomes center, bride, and someone the same height would be next to her. Okay? It works. All right? If I was adding in more couples, we just keep building from here. Okay, if I was adding in another pair, I'd probably put a groomsman. Actually, I'd probably start coming down the stairs, get them a little bit like that. Can't see upside down. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, always in triangles. Everything I would do would be in triangles. Yes, sir.
A couple weeks ago, I was doing a wedding, they had a 6'3", 6'4" bridesmaid, and all the guys are 5'6". I tend to go with a symmetrical look, and she kind of was one of the places with the guys just to maintain the symmetry, which seemed to be preempt the need to have dresses offset, tuxedos. What's your preference on that?
Well, how many people in the bridal party? What was it? What was the total?
Either 4 or 5 on each side.
Okay, so let's, just for sake of argument, let's do 4s real quick here, and let's try that. And and that's a toughie. The odd one being a bridesmaid. That's that tall. I mean, that's tough. Same, even I remember I had a wedding last year where there was one groomsman. I mean, the guy was literally a 7-footer. Even the 6-footers looked like shrimps next to the guy. It was trouble. And I had to have him stand on one stair and 1 foot up on the other stair and ask him to come down a little bit. I hit his legs with people in front of him, but he had to come down because he was just up there. And could I have made someone else rise to his level? Sure. Then there would have been these 2 people up here and everybody else down here. So it's easier to bring him down than to even try to bring anybody up. So as I'm looking at that, I might try something different. And I don't know if this is going to work because it's not my normal way of doing this, but I have a tall bridesmaid. Here's a 6-foot bridesmaid. Okay, I got a 5'3". Let's get some shorty bridesmaids in here. All right, there we go. So there's a variety of bridesmaids, 1, 2, 3 guys. All right, so let's say I got that real tall girl. Let's just try my theory first. See, and this is what I like about it, seeing if it works. So let's start with, so what I have, let's get even another shorter bridesmaid in there so the one really is taller than everybody, okay? So I'm going to take my 2 tallest guys first, which none of them are real tall. My 2 tallest are 5'9"ers, Okay, I'm going to put them up here a step above. I'm going to take two of my small girls. I got a 5 foot and a 5'3" here. Okay, I'm going to take my next two tallest, which got a problem there. There's my 6 footer. If I brought her up over here, and brought the next bridesmaid up over there. Okay, my next two guys are 5'6" and 5'9". Okay. Did it still work?
Would there be any harm in putting the 6 foot, well, the two groomsmen are only 5'9", so that doesn't work at that point, unless you raise one of the guys.
But they get to gain about 8 inches. Okay, so now what I originally thought, I wanted to try my theory there first. So you can see it works. Okay, now again, let's say I only had this guy was only 5'6". Okay, he's still just barely taller than her, but again, depending if I had a dress there or not, again, I would try to get a number 1 block on him if I could and give him an inch of height. Okay, but again, I had my choice between a guy that was 5'8" here and 5'6", so naturally I want the tallest guy next to her. Okay, now let me try what I was thinking when Rob first asked that, though. Let me keep these couples separate from each other for a second. So I work with the same group. I started thinking, what if I did bridesmaid up here, which I'm very leery about doing, so let me even think how I do this. So if I did bridesmaid up there, I'd still try to find 4, well, see, let's go, my original idea was going just down in a row with splitting the girls on one side, guys on another, which very rarely would I do, okay? But let's just try it if she is that big of a problem, because I know when I had that 7-foot guy, that's where he went, okay? And if it was a girl, you know, again, I'd probably have to do the same thing. So there's my tallest guy who's even shorter than her, okay? Take my shortest guy. Well, actually, I did that a little backwards because I wanted the triangle going down, so short there. One stair down. And you'll see when we do this stuff at the altar. Oop. So I want my shortest guy going to the outside. Okay, again, spacing might be a hair off, but you'll see this when it goes at the altar. When I pose at the altar, I pose symmetrically at the altar. I watch a lot of guys shoot, and a lot of them will pose one side and then go pose the other side. Again, I'm just not smart enough to do that. When I put 2 people here, I then put 2 people here. And then I'll put 2 more people here, and I'll come back over here and put 2 more here. Okay? One thing you'll find in my altar groups, they're very symmetrical. I'm not very creative up there, again, because of the speed. So again, maybe that solves it. But again, to me, that's why you photograph these. That's what I used to do, is photograph them, and then I would write down what each one was. You know, a 4 and 4 with one 6-foot bridesmaid. And for a while, I used to carry that little book with me. And you get to meet the couple, you know, the day of the wedding. You know if it's 5s, you know if it's 4s. So I'd say, I'm going to pull these 3 little sets out because I have 5 and 5, and these are the groups I'm going to do at the altar today. Okay? All right? Yes, sir.
Do you get the height from the bride and groom prior to the wedding day? Or
No, I just invent when I get there. Yeah, I have my theory down, and when I get there, I just have to work with whatever heights, you know, and rarely the heights cause me a problem because it's got to be that 7-foot guy. And like I said, I just came up with something off the top of my head, you know, I improvised and said, you know, just come down, and I hit his legs, you know. And then, like I said, I got my cheater blocks to really help me solve my problem. Okay, let's get on with a couple more of these, and then we'll start getting some live stuff here because all our models. Oop.
Mark, quick question.
Yes, sir.
What if we had a 7-footer and everybody else is like 5 foot? Any problem putting a 7-footer at the bottom so that balance the height?
Well, let's try that here. Let's get someone real tall. Let me find. I got some 6'6" guys in here. Get some short guys out here. 5, 6, 6, 3, 6, 6. All right, here we go. A bunch of midgets and. There you go, 4, 6. All right, oh, I need another guy. That's what I need. 5, 3. All right, so, you mean? I got 5 3s here and a 6, 6. Okay, and here I got 5'3s, 5-footers, okay, of girls. So if you try that, where would you think to put them? Down, something like that. See, it's level now, so right away for me, that would be a problem. Let's see. Now, my next tallest guy, okay, and I'm going to try to find my tallest girl to go next to him.
No matter what, you got a problem.
Yeah, he's a problem, okay? So you can see he's just throwing everything out of whack, and when they're that big and they're up front, they're going to be huge, dominant in the photograph. I can just, from even where I'm looking at it, I'd start that and go, oh, never mind. And I've done that 1,000 times at the altar. I get up there and go, you know, that's not exactly what I want. Let's try one more time. And I start over, okay? So let's go back to the original theory here of tallest guy up here, okay? My next tallest guy, who's only 5'6", 1 foot smaller than him, I'd get probably my number 4 or my number 5 block. Take my 2 shortest girls. Take my next 2 girls. Oop, that wasn't the shortest girl, that was. Take my next 2 tallest girls. And then my next 2 guys. And depending, if the guys were really taller, I could put them right next to them. If they're a little, like these guys are both exactly the same height. I'd go there. Again, see, it solved it again. Get rid of that big guy, hide him in the back, and raise the other guy up, solved my problem. That was my problem is either that he's too tall or he was too short. Can't cut his legs off, so I had to boost him up. And you wreck the tuxes when you cut the legs off. Okay? Yeah. So again, you see it works. Okay? And then, of course, the ideal thing is you got those little flower girls and bridesmaids, or groomsmen. You get them down in front, put the dresses in front, hide the blocks, etc. It's gone. Okay?
And what about a flat floor?
Flat floor.
Same situation.
Same situation. Okay? Yeah, let's see. That one, I don't have a thing on here, so I'm going to give you a live demonstration of that one. Absolute flat floor, you have one level, so you have to create levels. And there's a couple ways you can do that. Again, I still want to work with the inverted triangles. I will still layer people 2 layers thick with people in the back on a block. Okay, so if I have 4 guys that are all 5'7", I'm probably going to put 2 blocks on them and stand them right behind the bride and groom to get my 2 tallest guys, then my 2 shortest girls, then 2 more guys standing on the floor, or 2 more bridesmaids standing on the floor, and 2 more groomsmen behind them. So that's number 1 way I would do it. That's the fastest way. 2 little riser blocks, again, out of my set would go there. The key is, we don't want the bride and groom here. We want them 1 step out so there's room for the groomsmen behind them. Okay, does everybody understand that? So just like you'd have layers on a stair, if the bride and groom were here and the other groomsmen in that were up on the stairs, we don't have that here. So if we start the groomsmen here on a block, bride and groom are going to be that half step out in front of them. Okay? Creating the same thing. Way number 2, find yourself some chairs around the church. New level. If the chair has an arm on it, you now have 3 levels. 1 seated, seated on the arm, and standing behind. 3 different levels, 1 chair. Okay? 4th level, got someone here, someone on the arm. You also have someone down on the ground next to him.
Would you have the girls go down? Would you have the girls actually go down?
Probably not. Always the guys. I don't think I've ever done it with I shouldn't say that. There's one in my sample thing where I had the girls sit on the floor in front. I had one of those where the altar ended like right where the pews were. And there was nowhere to put them. I mean, I had that much to do all my couples. It was a nightmare. So that one, I couldn't even put them behind there because they had a little podium, and there was stuff there, so they actually had to come sit on the floor, but once out of, last 900 weddings. Okay, so that's how you solve 1 stair. Find some chairs. Whenever I walk into a church and it has just flat, Dave, find me some chairs. I'll make sure that there are 2 or 3 chairs up ready for me to use. Okay. All right, let's talk wheelchair. Oh, sorry, Rob, go ahead.
I know you have a preference when you have some stairs to have bride's dress out front and be seen in altar return pictures. What about when, as the illustration just had, basically is no place to put the bride's dress? Does that change yours?
Yes, then I'll just have the nice front, and I tell her that, and I say, but when I get the two of you alone, then we're going to show it. Is that okay? I always get her permission, because when you are all flat and you got people all jammed around, there is no pulling the train around. Okay, great question. So I just tuck it in the back, hide it behind her, make sure the front is nice, build all around them, and then let her know once they're all gone, bride and groom together, now I can pull it out behind you, and I'll do 3 or 4 versions of that. Okay? Alrighty? While we're on that, please always make sure you get shots with the entire dress in it. And I know that sounds like, why would Mark say that to me? But trust me, I've had more than one photographer turn in an entire wedding where he never got the entire bride's dress in a photo. Always cut it off at 3/4 length, or cut the tip of the dress off, the last foot of it. You can't do that. Okay? All right. Let's see. Lighting. Lighting is not a problem because you're using an on-camera flash. The only time I find lighting is a problem is if the church A has turned the lights off on you and the background's going to go black. Okay? So it doesn't happen too often, but certainly will happen. There's one church, it might be Orchard Lake St. Mary. I'm not, maybe some of you can correct me. I haven't shot there for a couple of years. But when the sun is setting, it is designed to come through a stained glass window up at the top back side of the church. And guess where that is angled to land? Right there. So you go put a bride and groom up at the altar, wham! Guess what's hitting them? Stained glass. So you go up there and meet her during the ceremony. If you have the late, the 5 or 6 o'clock ceremony, literally it's, F8 at a 60th, and you just move down to the bottom of the dress and it's 4 1/4. You're in trouble. So first time I shot there, that's the stained glass is there, and I'm thinking, what am I going to do? I'm stuck. I mean, it's right here. It's creaming everything. I knew I couldn't handle that, and I didn't want to just beef up the shutter speed and the flash and wipe everything out because then my background was going to go dark. I wanted a slow shutter speed. So then the old simple thing come to mind finally. Move. Do a different spot. Okay? There was a side angle of the altar I could have went to, and if I'd have really thought, what that church has is, I think, 1 or 2 stairs, a big, long, flat, and then 3 or 4 more stairs. I was so fixated on standing right here because that's where the ceremony was, and so panicked about that stained glass sitting here, I forgot I had the whole rest of the altar to go to. So remember our theory when people have glasses on, first rule, ask them if they want to take them off. Okay? First rule here, move. All right? Not hard.
There was a church in Farmington that, I think it's on 14 or 15 mile, where the center of the church has got a transom. And the light comes in as it changes at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's still very, very high. So as a result, where you're standing, that's where the light is coming right across. Now, I was able to move to the side to be able to do the altar groups, okay? But from the standpoint of the bride and groom, when during the service, she was smack dab in the middle of Sunny 16 rule.
Yeah, yeah, and you've had that. You've had one side of the church, all window, and the sun's setting on that side of the church, and the sun's pouring through, and the bride's on that side, and she's, in white, and she's 3 stops brighter than the groom on the other side of her. And what do? You are SOL. You can't handle 3, 4 stops difference up there. So meter for your shadow and let the lab custom print it, or do a variety, bracket, all those things, In digital, you're really in trouble because you can't overexpose and, a whole different world. So again, I guess that's the old bracket the crap out of it and start paying the digital guy to splice them and put the 2 halves together. That's trouble. And you're going to run into it. That's just real trouble. In that case, I would really consider asking the priest, can I turn the flash on because this is a problem? And I'd be up there shooting at, 60th at f8 and just overpower it during the ceremony so I got some kind of shots. Because you're going to be in trouble otherwise. And I'd still always shoot 1 or 2 natural light ones so you can show them later why you did what you did. Because they're not going to remember or care later on. Back to where it's your fault the sun was like that, right? Okay, let's talk about the last 2 things here. The stairs going away. Okay, here is the rule with stairs going away. This is big. Let me extend my stairs out a little bit here. Hi, Father, how are you? Okay. let's say, okay, let's say this little point comes all the way out like that, okay? Now here we've got an ideal situation, this nice flat one, but once that point comes out, okay, here's what people want to start doing. Posing the bride and groom here and start putting the group. And then some people go here, and some go here, and some go here, and some go here. Okay, from lens to there is 10 feet. To me, I'm now 16 feet. And your lens is going away. So we're in real trouble. These people on the end are going to be out of focus. So what you have to do when you get to these churches with the point is, what's the first rule? How do we solve the problem, Di?
Switch the bride and groom back.
I would start my bride and groom back here and build my group. Forget the point. They don't have to be up in front. So my bride and groom, I'd start them here, okay? I would take either a tall groomsman. Let's see, who's about my size? Dom, can you come on up for a second, buddy? Let's say it works like this. I only have these two stairs, and the groom and one of the groomsmen were only the same height. Okay, we take our groom Dominic, we put him right here, and we have our bride right up here. Di, can you come up for a second, sweetie?
Just took Matt's job.
Yeah, sorry, Matt. Yeah, what am I thinking here? All right, so, yeah, what are you doing taking Matt's job? Okay? There's my groomsman. Tallest guy over the groom's shoulder, tallest by virtue of I'm the guy standing on the block. Okay, problem solved. Next one, bridesmaid would be down here, groomsman would be here, bridesmaids would be here. Coming away, back into the lens, forget the point, don't cause yourself trouble. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Be another case where you wouldn't bring the dress forward because probably the dress is going to hang funny on that point?
Well, may not. I would probably still try to bring it around because I'd want to hide that point.
Okay.
I would definitely want to hide the point if I could. Okay? All right. Any other problems before we start bringing up live people? Anything? Oh, wheelchair. Wheelchair. That was the second. That's right. I said there were two more problems. Here's the two problems. Okay. Let's bring our bride and groom up. Heck, we got a bride and groom. Okay, for me, and I always pose the bride on the left for one simple reason. If I want to have the bouquet here, well, see, that puts the ring hand on the back, but I'll show you why I do that. I can keep the bouquet out front, and then...
You have a bouquet right there.
Yep, I'll grab it. I can do... I bring that arm through, which just like on the portraits, remember, hides any light or anything from behind. So I love that pose for this reason, okay? Here's our bouquet. So here's... Okay, so.
Or you're seeing that as opposed to having the bride and groom swap places.
Correct. Yep. Okay, grandma comes up in a wheelchair. I solve my problem first, which is grandma. I bring her up here. Okay, can I borrow one of our ladies? Anybody? Anybody wants to be grandma? Make yourself comfy. Good. All right, and then what I will do is go get another chair. I don't want grandma sitting there. I don't want to be building a group around and grandma sitting there all by her lonesome out in front. She's probably already not happy she's in a wheelchair. Who of us would be, right? Okay. I've had grandparents that are, just the week before they became wheelchair bound, and they're not happy about it. And so my job is to make them feel comfortable and not make them stick out like a sore thumb. So if it's grandma and grandpa, if I've got grandma, grandpa's going to come sit down right here with her. Okay? If grandma's single and I got an aunt, somebody's coming sitting right next to her. Okay? And then I'm going to build my group around them. So I would take my, what? Two tallest men. So my first tallest man is going to come here. My second tallest is going to come here. Then I'm going to take what? Shortest girl right here. Shortest girl here.
So you'd have them actually behind the chair and not to the side of the chair to try and camouflage the chair?
Correct. I'll show you what we're going to do with that in just a second. If I can hide the chair with little kids, I will. If I can't, then it will just be there. But at least, again, I'm trying to make her comfortable that there's someone else. Then after two tallest, two shortest, what's next? Next tallest girl, next tallest girl. Then, if the groomsman is a lot taller than her, I can put him on the same stair. If he's the same height as her, I can put him up a stair. If he was this much taller than her, I can bring him down here. So that's why my fixed rule is two tallest, two shortest, two girls, then whatever you need to do with the next two fellas. Their heights will dictate where they're going, whether it's on the same stair, one stair up, or one stair down. Okay, so that's all the problem solving. Okay, so let's do some combinations. Okay, Grandma, let's have you become Mom. Okay, let's start with some basic 4 when we have a group here. Can I bring you up for a minute, Otto? Yeah, I'm sorry, what did you name? Martina. All right, so if I'm going to have best man, maid of honor, mom and dad, grandma, grandpa, with the bride and groom. 2 couples, okay? The 2 common things I'll see, would you step up one stair? Is this, and come on up one stair. Excuse me. That's what I'll commonly get is straight lines, okay? And then the second thing, not as common, but I'll get this, and you'll watch this right away. Watch what happens. Can I have you 2 go up a stair over the bride and groom? Okay? Now, look at that versus what I would always do, which is maybe come down right to the ground level, right down to the ground level. Oh, yep, you just stay right there. Thank you. Good, a little turn. Good. And just take your hands down a little bit. Good. And if this is mom or grandma, right? I'll turn her a little bit and say, ma'am, just point your left toward my camera. Good. So just the opposite. And point this way. And either maybe his hands in his pocket or hands to his back. Usually don't want the dead arm, so I'll do something with the hands. That's my knees creaking. I was going to say, it's not far from the truth right now, is it? Okay. That look a little better than having them up taller. It's an automatic inverted triangle, or a triangle, not an inverted triangle. Okay. I'd be shooting that with my 105, my 110, my medium long lens. Gets rid of as many pews, as much extra stuff as I want. Again, don't shoot right to the edge of people. You got to leave me room to crop, especially if you're a square shooter. They order a 5x7. Okay. You know, I get extremes again. I'll have people that will shoot this and shoot with a 50, and they're out here with the group, and the people are this big in the photos, and I'll have people that come in and shoot here. You know, you just got to know there's that happy medium. You need a little bit of comfortable room around them, so I can crop it into a 5x7 or an 8x10, but not here where they're this big in the proofs. Because again, guess who hears that when they come in? We can't even see us in the pictures, and I'm looking going, yeah, I don't know, photographer need to step in about 4 steps. We'd be okay. But I just tell them, oh, you know, photographer's shooting loose so we can crop in and yada, yada, you know. Same time, I want to dial the phone and say, hey, you know what lens to use and where to stand for this? You're a pro. You're supposed to know this stuff. Yes, sir.
So you're constantly adjusting camera distance to subject?
All the time.
Every time you change group?
Yeah, and you'll be surprised. With my 110 on, where the video camera is, I'm probably 1 step farther back than where the video camera is. And I can do my 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 if they're not too, you know, big people, if they're not, you know, if I don't have big gowns and stuff like that. I can get up to 8 with that one lens without moving once. And most of the time when I move, it's to move forward, because then if it gets bigger than that, I'll drop the 65 on. I actually got to come in. And if it's the 40, I'm usually shooting at 40, I'm about right here. 65, I'm about right here. Okay?
No, you shoot full length in that. That'd be full length.
Always, please, always. Alter groups are full length. Okay? Let me tell you something that happens that people do with alter groups that is an absolute killer. I get alter groups, they'll do things like this. I'll get the whole, you know, the bride's side shot like this, a full length, and when they bring the groom's family up, they shoot them to here. You just can't even imagine how I flip out when I see that kind of stuff. I don't understand someone's thinking when I get that. I mean, I'm telling you, it just, right, Di?
It flips.
Okay? And believe me, I praise you guys when I see your work, when I love the stuff you do. I praise you, and you know, you don't hear it. But I also have to yell at some guys sometimes, and you don't hear that. But it just makes me mad that again, someone that would be considered professional would do something like that. Okay? Do them both the same. Whatever you do them both the same. Okay? Just like we were talking about coming down the aisle. You know, don't shoot one full length, one half, one from an angle. One. All 6 of those bridesmaids coming down got to be shot the same. Okay? All right, we're going to pick up with some groups. We're going to take a 2-second breather and do a quick potty break, and then we're going to go on to our groups. Okay? Always waiting on the bride. Boy, is this like a real wedding, right? Where's the bride? Okay. All right, so while our bride is returning, let's talk about something real quick. We're just going to go back to this. I did a little handout during the break there. You got 2 sets. Let's look at the one that says family and bridal party altar groups. All right, the one that says family, okay? I want you to look at the 2 little ones I drew in. And those are ones I drew in after I did them on here, just practicing. Now, the first one on my right here, you can see was that group we were talking about at the beginning where we had the best man maid of honor. We have odd couples with the 5. I brought the best man maid of honor down in front. But I also, in that one, threw in we got to have them as couples, though. Okay? So they're posed as couples in the 2s with best man maid of honor down front. Okay? Conversely, because I don't want everything static at the altar, even though that's how I always pose, look at the group on the left. Same group of 5 people. Little different flavor for it. Okay, 5 is a real common number in the bridal party. And one of my very favorites, when we do the men on one side and the ladies on the other, look at the one just below that drawing. Look at the nice, I don't know what you want to call it, 2/3 of a triangle there that I have going out and down the stairs. So it comes out, the men are going this way, and then they're coming back in that pose. It's a pretty nice pose. Okay, so besides the one we showed up here with the group of 5, where it was best man maid of honor, tallest men, shortest women, next tallest women, 2 men. So that was one way to do a group of 5. Here's number 2 way to do a group of 5, number 3 way to do a group of 5, number 4 way to do a group of 5. And are there a million more ways? Certainly. You just got to find ones you're comfortable with. Okay, another thing you can do with 5s, just while we're on it, best man maid of honor here, but a little gap between them. Couples either coming down, all men, all women, and bride and groom down here and out here in the foreground of the picture. Lots of different ways you can do all these group shots. You just got to think and have some stuff practiced at home before you get to the altar. And then take 1 or 2 of these. When you look at your chart and it says you got 5 couples tonight, pick 1 or 2 of those and make it the one you're going to do at that wedding and have a cheat sheet with you. But I'd certainly practice it some way at home, and to me, that's the best way. Let's do some posing at the altar here. So can we have our bride and groom back up, please? Bride and groom, if this was my altar that I work with, 1 stair up is normally where I'm going to put them, unless there are 4 or 5 stairs, and I got a big bridal party or big family, then they're going up 2 stairs. Okay, so it's always 1st or 2nd stairs. Okay. Now, let's say either she forgets her bouquet or the bouquet gets lost or anything like that. I also can do that. Another reason I like the ring hand to the inside. Okay? So, what I'll commonly do is ask the groom, say, Matthew, would you hold that for your wife while I'm getting her bouquet? And the 2 of them look at each other like, it's the first time he's been called her wife. Okay, it's a great little thing. One of those little niceties I do that I'd steal that from me real quick and use that if I were you. Okay? Works very well. It is the first time she is called his wife, and believe me, you'll get a reaction. So steal that one from me, okay? Okay, so let's pose a family up here. So we're going to do, when I'm at the altar, this is how my series goes. Unless there's a special circumstance that I have to change, like last week, the groom's family owned the banquet hall and had to get to the hall first, so I reversed order, okay? But typically, 9 out of 10 weddings, I tell them this. And by the way, here's my whole speech at the altar. I get everybody together, I have them all sit down, and I bring the bride and groom up here. And the bride and groom already know what I'm about to say because I've told them. They may have forgotten, but I did tell them it before. And I let them know that this is what I tell everyone at the altar. I say, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We're going to be doing 3 sets of photographs. A couple things I need you to know that are real important. When we're up here, even though you're going to see my flash go off, my camera is still functioning for about 2 seconds after I take your picture, which is an eternity in photography. So don't move right after I take your picture because my camera is still working. What happens is my camera shutter opens up and my flash fires and my camera stays there and then it closes. And that's so it picks up the ambient light so the church looks like the church in the pictures and you look like you in the picture. So what that means also, if you have a camera with a flash, I'll ask you not to take any flash pictures during these because you will change my exposure and wreck the pictures possibly for the bride and groom. So we don't want to do that. So again, if you have a flash camera and I ask you not to take any pictures while I do this, I'd appreciate it, and I'm sure the bride and groom would appreciate it. And but what we are going to do, because I know you all have cameras, is I'm going to pose the bride and groom for you. And I want you all come up with your camera, everybody that has a camera. And Dan, would you be the photojournalist in this and show them where you'd go while I'm telling them this? I'd say, this is what I need you all to do. I want you all to go on up and get your cameras ready, turn your flashes on. I'm going to pose the bride and groom for you guys. And then once I get started, I'm going to ask you not to take any photographs. Okay? So here we go. Everybody with a camera, come on up. And they all huddle around. There's 18 people with a camera. And I go back here and I'll fix the gown. And I'll have them hold like this together. And I'll say, a little snuggle together, guys. Look right at everybody. And I get out of the way. And blah, 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 right, they get flash.
I'm way up here, and I've got the bride and groom in the corner of the picture, and everybody else.
So she's got the paparazzi shot, I call. So she'll have this nice little 2/3 view of the bride and groom back. And she's got a wide angle on, so she's seeing that. She's seeing everybody take the pictures. And she's going to try to rip off 2 or 3 of them and turn it into a shot that we get to use. It's a pretty cool shot, okay? So that should be her job as a photojournalist. So I'm going to let her rip that off. Then after they're done, say, ladies and gentlemen, anybody else with a camera? And there's always, oh yeah, one more. Oh, Grandma, come on up. So Grandma's up there. Do one more. After they're done, I remind them again. I said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Now from this point on, I'm going to ask you to turn your cameras off, put them away for about 15 minutes, let me do my job without interruption. If you don't come up here and help me, I promise not to come to your job on Monday and help you with yours. Is that fair enough? And I say that to people all the time. And again, I say it in a very non-threatening way. But I have a job to do, and I need to get flying, okay? So I say, now here's what we're going to do. We're going to do 3 sets of photos. We're going to do our bride side of the family, then our groom side of the family, and then the bridal party. And so when I call you up here, what I need you to do is whoever you want to be posed with, either hold on to them. So if you're married to someone or claiming them on taxes, hold on to them when you bring them up here, and that's who I'm going to pose you together, okay? And that's what I'll do. I'll say, so now, bride side of the family, come on up, okay? So let's bring Mom and Dad. And let's bring Auntie, and let's bring your son and his wife. All right. Okay, so this is what we have for a group here. Okay, so I got a couple, and I got aunt. What's my problem?
Odd number.
Okay, and it's an odd number what? So what am I going to do?
Just invite the aunt.
Auntie, you were like extra on the thing, so I'm sorry, you've got to go home. Okay, so it's an extra female, so our groom is now going to go right down the middle. Auntie, can I bring you right over here, darling? I'm going to stand you right up next to the groom. He told me you were his favorite aunt, so we're going to let you get in there. Let's just take it right down. See? Okay. Put your weight on your right foot, point your left toe right at me. Thank you very much. Good. A little square to camera. Good, right there. Sir, can I take you, go right up top, steer right over the bride, or right over Aunt's shoulder? Okay. 2 tallest men, I only have 2 men, so that's all I got to worry about. 2 shortest women. Now, notice what I don't do. And he's hidden. Leave some body for the people in the back row. Sir, first steer right over the bride's shoulder, please. Good. 1 steer up, please. Good. Ma'am, right down here in front. Good. Come on over just a little bit, sir. And right to the edge of the stairs, gentlemen. Good. I'll detail the dress. I detail the hands. Tell everybody on this side, just a slight tilt your head to the center, and just turn your chin just a little bit, so I can see your eyes. Good. Just a little bit extra. And sir, take your hands right to the back. There you go, just so they're not in the picture. Good. And chin this way, ma'am. Just a little bit right there. Good. Right there. And boom. Solved. Odd number. Still very symmetrical. There's my group.
keep the proximity of the aunt to the groom as tight as the bride is to the groom?
Definitely, because if not,
And she looks separated.
lopsided group, and it looks like that side of the family didn't shower this morning. All righty? Okay, all right. Thank you, everybody. If you want to stick around up front, because I'm probably going to call you back, so. All right, just grab something. Okay, let's bring up the groom's family, and we got a big groom over there. Oh, Rob. And we got Lawrence will be in there. Marcin, come on in. And let's bring this pretty young lady. I don't know your name, I'm sorry. Two ladies, and we got a little shaver. Okay, and let's see. So we got two. So I got two guys that are pretty tall. Rob's a hair taller, and we got two gentlemen there. And so again, my problem is I got three men, two ladies. Same situation now. This time it's the opposite since it's the extra groomsmen. I'm going to bring you right to center. Snuggle up to your bride. Let me have you hold that for your wife for a second. Good. Won't let him put this hand here. Want him to hide it all the time. And let's see. Let's bring our groom's brother up here because you're the best looking guy of the group. So hop right up there. We're going to give you the spot on or next to the bride. Good. And just tuck right in there, Marcin. Turn right at me a little bit, buddy. Turn your feet with you. There you go. Good. All right. Let's bring you two big guys. Let's see. Can I sneak you right up here? And Lawrence, let's bring you right up over here. Good. Good. And let's bring you right down in front. Now, this could be this gentleman's wife or this gentleman's wife. Doesn't matter. Might bring her there. Or if she is, you'll see with her height, I could also step her up a stair. And she's going to look good in either spot because either way I got my triangles. Okay? And let's bring you up here. And I'm sorry, was it Abby?
Abby.
Hey, Abby, who's this? Who's that, Abby?
Who is that?
Is that Santa Claus? Can she have a Pez? Here, Abby, you know what's in there? Come here. Look what's in there. Oh. Would you like one of those?
Candy?
Would you like one? You want one here? Oh, wait, here, let's. There you go. Good. Okay, do you know what? Sneak over just a little bit. Oh, stay right up there. Good. You know what, Abby? Can you come right up with Mama? Here, let's go right up here. And we're going to put her right there. Okay? Okay. A couple seminars ago, I told you about the best 99 cents I ever spent, right? Okay? If you were in this class last year and you remember, Dan brought his little boy, sat right there, and remember what happened? Absolutely wasn't going to be in the pictures until my Pez came out. Then he was the most cooperative little groomsman we ever had, okay, a ring bearer. So she's all happy. There's my group. I'm going to center up because the baby's there just a little bit, so I'm just going to hide a little bit more of Lawrence than I normally might just because the baby's there. My two tall fellows are there, solve my problem.
Usually you're working with really thick satin.
Yeah, I was going to say, uh-oh, Pez is flying everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, there we go. She found the gold mine there. Here, I'll tell you, we'll put some more in there. Hold on, we'll let Miss Diane put some more in there for us. Okay, now, again, everything, 5-second rule. Everything nice and symmetrical again, solving an odd number. Okay, now I'm going to show you something I did. I folded over the back side of the dress to get that nice V. Okay, again, nothing worse than your group shots and this thing, someone doing something like that. And again, I can tell you, it's happened more than once, let's just say that. Okay? You got to make sure this thing is fixed, and you got to make sure it's fixed right on every shot. See, and if this is too tall, again, I fold that under to get my nice, even triangle. Oh, of course. What's more important, his rented shoes or her dress? What's more important, the groom or her dress? Okay?
Anybody else? Or her dress?
Okay, we got it. Okay, so that's how we do that. All right? So after a family group, so I do the entire family, and then I'll say, okay, everybody, what I'd like to do is we're just going to keep Mom and Dad here, and let's step out our brothers and sisters, please. Okay? Dad, sir, I'm going to bring you down right here. Mom, let's bring you right over here. We're going to go, oh, we are centered, we're good. Okay. Bring you right over here. Shouldn't be centered.
Shouldn't be centered, actually. Yeah.
Right there, good. All right, and now I'm going to take his hand and say, Mom, here's another thing I like doing a lot is have the moms hold the hand. Mom, put your weight on this and see. I'm doing exactly how I do it at the thing. I walk up to him, I put my arm around Mom's, I say, Mom, put your weight on this back foot. See my hand over here flying, guys? And point this toe right at my camera. Beautiful, Mom, just like that. Dad, that's wonderful. Just like that, I'm going to sneak your shoulder just behind the bride a little bit. Just give me a half a step back, Dad. Beautiful. Good, very nice. Okay, and again, fix the dress. Boom, my group of 4. Then after that, so here's how my series goes. Entire bride's family, just the parents. Okay, this is the bride side now. Then I'm going to say, okay, Mom, I'm going to sneak you up. Dad, can I take you to the second stair, sir? Mom, bring you right down the ground level. Good. And we're going to bring up our groom's parents. Mom, I'm going to bring you right down ground level, right here. Sir, second stair. Going to sneak out. Now, she's doing what most people want to do. They want to snuggle right in there. I got to pull her out a little bit, so this area right here looks more natural. We don't want her smashed in. Want her back and with a nice little comfortable hold. Good. Dad, just sneak in a little bit. See how he's over her? A little bit more, sir. Good. And just square right up the camera and just a little square up and sneak right in there. Good. Okay, so shot 3. First one, bride's family. Just her parents. My group of 6 with both sets of parents. Now, Mom and Dad, you're done. Thank you very much.
I have a question.
Yes.
What if, like, my future husband's got 2 sets of parents?
I just do that set twice. That's exactly what I do it twice.
Oh,
So
okay. Oh,
I would have just said, now, a lot of times I might do 3. Let's say there's parents are divorced and they're both remarried. I actually do 3 sets at the altar. I would say, here's what we're going to do, gang. This is how I talk to the parents and the bride and groom, and I'd get permission of the bride first. You'll see on your information sheets when it says divorced, you'll see a happy face or an unhappy face or a neutral face. Neutral face, you get to play it by ear. It means the divorced parents are okay together probably. Happy face means no problem. Unhappy face, don't even attempt to put them together, okay? So let's say it's a happy face. Say, Mom and Dad, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do 3 sets of photos for your side of the family, just so everybody gets a combination that they like. So what I'm going to do is, Mom, have you with your dad or your husband, which is your stepdad, and then Dad, I'm going to have you with your wife, and then I'm going to do one with Mom and Dad, so you have one with your parents. Is that okay? Everybody good with that? And that's how I talk, just like that. Who's going to tell me no? Okay? I'm telling them I'm going to do it, but I'm also asking them.
I have one more question.
Yes.
What about, I know my fiance's mom will want one with her and her original husband and just her son or something, and me maybe. I just know she will.
Any combinations off.
It doesn't
So I also let them know, any combinations you want while I'm up here, please just let me know. I say, this is what I'm going to do, but let me know. So now I would do combination number 2 and 3 at that, while I had those parents up there, just kind of do the revolving parent things, right?
When you had the parents up there, before you brought the groom's parents up, would you bring the grandparents up as well?
I do them separately.
Oh, separately.
Yeah. Because I want to go back to that group of 4 with the parents. So what I want is a family shot, a parents set, a grandparents set. Okay? Now, they would have been in the big group shot. But when I break down, it's bride and groom with family, and mom, dad, brother, sisters, grandparents, bride and groom with parents, bride and groom with other parents, bride and groom with all the parents, bride and groom with grandparents. Okay? My goal also, as always, is to do what?
Do your job.
Sell photos. Okay? I don't make a living on the groups I shoot. I'm not here teaching this, and I'm not over there making money at my studio. So I'm not only doing combinations that are important to them, they're also combinations that will make me money. Okay? Don't forget, this is still a business. Yes?
By bride's family, you mean the bride?
Mom, dad, brothers, sisters, grandparents, and the brothers, sisters, wives, husbands, and children.
Oh, okay.
So what I call the immediate extended family. Now, they'll say, can I have aunts and uncles? I'll say, we can have anything you'd like up here. So we're going to go, all the aunts and uncles come up here. But I will tell you, probably 75% of my weddings, aunts and uncles aren't at the altar groups. But if they stay, then it's everybody group. Then I'll say, okay, aunts and uncles and cousins, can you step out? We need mom, dad, brothers, sisters, grandparents, brother party, and so on. Right? Oh, I think we lost our flower girl. Okay. All right, so we have those 3 sets of combinations for the parents. Bride's parents, all the parents, groom's parents. Okay, so what I would have done after that, let me bring a new, right up here, a new mom up here. So we just got done, we had the other set of parents here, right? Now we've asked them to leave. I don't want to leave them there, but I want mom to stay there. Say, Mom, now you're going to hold over here. Sir, can I bring you right over here? Right there. Boom. Okay, so let's do that little 4 set real fast, just so it's in a row on the thing, okay? So let me get one more set of parents, if you can come up here. All right, so this is going to be our bride's parents. Okay, so I'm going to bring them up, bride's parents. Bam, bam, always 2 shots at least, please, always 2. I've actually had more than one photographer tell me there's not time to take a second shot. I don't know how long for you, but a quarter of a second to me is about a quarter of a second long. Click, one more time, click. Okay, it's not like you have to redo things. Okay, so here's how fast it would go. Okay, Mom and Dad looking right at camera. Flash 1. One more time, guys. Flash 2. Okay, Dad, if I can bring you right over here, step you right up on the top stair. Mom and Dad, can I bring you right over here? Dad, going to bring you right up on the top stair right up there. Mom, going to bring you on the bottom stair right here. Good, right up. I won't get through all the details just so you can see for speed-wise. Flash 1. Looking right here, guys. Flash 2. Mom and Dad, you're all set. Can I step you right out? Mom, I'm going to bring you right over here where Mom just was. Dad, let me bring you right down to the ground level right here. Why don't you take your son's hand right there? This is now our groom's parents. Looking right at camera. Flash 1. Flash 2. I'm sure that wasn't more than 1 minute to do that whole series. Again, for me, how can I make it fast and easy? So I did that entire bride side, went to her parents, let the other family members go except for the bridal party, of course, told them to sit down, added in both sets of parents, let her parents go, Mom and Dad. Unless you want any special requests, if there's anything else you want, you're now done, free to head to the reception, and now we go to the other side of the family. Okay?
When you have the extended family, many times you're going to have well more than 12 people.
Sure.
Okay? You wouldn't have the spacing between the 12 people like you would normally in the bridal party like you showed.
Pretty close. But if you look on that handout there, okay, let's go to the old handout there, and I believe it's in there. Let me see. Okay, go to one that says Family and Bridal Party Altar Groups. Very bottom left. I believe I counted that. If I didn't lose count, it's either 47 or 48 people at the altar.
In this one?
Bottom one, yep. I thought it was 20. I used to say there was 20. I just counted the other day. It was either 47 or 48, I think. Okay, that is done at a church much smaller than this. If any of you are familiar with Old St. Mary's Church, over there on Merriman Road, which now is gone, actually. They turned that into, I think, a banquet hall because they built the big church right next door. That is up there. Okay? It's not half the size of this, but you can take a good 6 or 8 feet off of this and put it in there. Oh, I left you a set on the chair there. Okay. And you can see on there still, everyone's head is visible. Okay? And let me tell you, that was about a 1-hour shoot of nothing but family, 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 family. And since the hall was adjoined to the church, I'm running in the hall, getting people, I'm bringing them back, and let's talk about doing just the bride and groom at the altar. All right? Series like this, and let me turn a flash on so we can actually hit these. Bring this up and over just to the side of the video. I turn the bride and groom right there, and I start letting them know. They're getting wore out. They've been up there for 20 minutes. They're starting to get tired, and I'll let them know, guys, a few more minutes, we're going to get you out of here, and I'm encouraging them to stay with me and all that kind of stuff. And I always tell them it's just a couple of more, even though I know there's actually about 12 more, but don't want to tell them that. So we're going to start here. We're just going to let your hand go right down. We're going to do a real quick series here because the church is on a real strict time limit today, so I'm going to give you a little tilting. Now, you'll notice for the first time, I start touching them. I don't do that in the big altar groups because I'm trying to go too fast. These ones are them alone, and I get up there and I tilt where I want them. You can guide them. You can do whatever you like. I prefer to tilt them and move it just because by the time they tilt where I want them, I'll waste another 30 seconds. They'll be going this way, and doing this. They're not models. I need to put them where I need them at. Okay? So my little series will go like this up at the altar. Lift your toe. We got a toe on there. Thank you. So I'll fix that all up. I'll come back to camera here. Got my 110 on. Little snuggling right there. Let's just tilt your head towards your husband right there. Great smiles. Good. Very nice. One more time right there. Very nice. Good. All right, Matthew, if you would, without changing anything, just put your hand right underneath the bouquet with the brides. Good. Right there. Let me pop in this little misty vignette around the edges. There you are. Beautiful. Right there. Good. One more time. Looking right here. Good. One more time, Matthew. Let me take your hand out. Put it right in your pocket right there. That's beautiful. That's very nice. Can I lower your bouquet down just to here? And I'm going to put in this other little dark vignette. I'm not telling them that obviously I'm just doing it, but I want you guys to all hear. I pop in my little dark vignetter now, okay? Because the poses haven't changed a whole lot. So I'll go from my misty vignetter to one that has a little dark vignette. Great, looking right there, guys, one more time. That's beautiful. Okay, let me come over and do just a little fix. So you want to hold your bouquet right here. Good, let me take your hands right here. Get a little right there, beautiful, gonna snuggle you in. Now, she's very elegant, very petite, so I'm gonna be able to get away with a nice high shoulder tilt on her. Good, come right there, guys, beautiful. Still haven't changed anything, looks good. Right here, guys, great. Good, right there, guys, that's really beautiful. Now, just a little bit, what I want you to do is lean away from each other at the top and just look at each other's, right in each other's eyes. Beautiful, right there, beautiful, great, right there. Stay right there, let me do just one more little fix. Hold on, make a quick little change, good. It's coming right there, beautiful. Here we go, guys, right there. Oh, that's great, beautiful, right there, nice, good. And remember that Hallmark kiss we practiced before where you kiss but you don't really kiss, and it's just almost real close, so I'd tell them to kiss, and then I'd tell them to hold it right there and get one more little kiss in there. Good, all right? Okay, now, all right, well, let me just teach these guys a Hallmark kiss, so you're going to need to do a little smooch in here. Okay. Hallmark kiss is besito kiss, in Spanish, teeny tiny. It's like this. There.
And no puckering.
No.
Close
And
your
that's the
eyes.
thing, and I tell them that. I say, don't go like this in your pictures because it look like a couple fish kissing. So, and what you have to do is just forget everybody's here for a second. Just close your eyes, little tilt.
Look, I'm tilting this way.
Yep.
Oh God, I do feel like a movie star.
Yeah. And just barely touching. And that's the kiss I want them to kiss for the picture. Boom, boom, done. Okay? All right? So that's my two. So, okay. So, and then here's what I do. Okay, so I've only made one change. I've went up there and made one change. Okay? I go up there and I say, turn around till you see me again. Turn all the way around, all the way, keep going till you see me. Keep turning away right there. A little more. Beautiful right there. Good. Matthew, right up, snuggle up to her. Good. Okay, now let me show you. Interrupt myself to say, here, watch this. Watch this dress. Does that look right? Please don't ever pull a train the wrong direction. Okay? You'd be surprised. Okay? Train is made to come behind her. Okay, Matthew, snuggle up to your pride. Lift that up. All right. And then people start talking about thinking, I always go, yep, blue garter. Okay, here we go. All right. So I'm not going to detail that right now just for speed. I'm going to turn her just a little bit extra. Matthew, hide this hand so I don't see it.
Yep.
There's always a good spot back there somewhere you can keep your hand. Good. Drop it right there. Good. Looking right there. That's what I tell them. That's what I tell them. You know, I always tell them that. So I'm loosening them up. I'm trying to have I'm trying to have a little fun with them. Come back here. I'm still focused. I still haven't moved my camera once. That's great right there. Beautiful. Very nice. Here we go. Good. One more time right there. Good. Now you want me to put a little black and white film here real quick. There's a back off. Now you digital guys don't have to do any of that. Put my black and white on. Good. Just turn at me a little bit more for right there. Beautiful. Tilt the bouquet at me just to here. Beautiful. And right there. Good. One more time. Very nice. Let me put in a little misty vignette here. Matthew, for this one, just bring your hand right to your back for me, just like that. Turn at me a little bit more, Matthew, so I see your chest a little bit more. Good. Great smiles. Nice. Right there. One more time. Good. Beautiful. Good. Got a last one I'm going to do with the two of you here. I'm going to bring you all the way this way. Matthew, come on right up here. Good. A little snuggling. Let me take the bouquet right out. Good. Get your hand rest there. Looking right at this ear. Good. Beautiful. Gonna look right there. Okay. Dave now is over here, has turned on that at F8. I go over here, turn my beer bulb on, maybe notch it up a shutter speed. Okay, right there, guys. One more time right there, guys. Beautiful. Two. Thanks a lot. You're all done. Okay. So now, that's just the bridal couple series. Of course, again, they're still them individually. So let's just cover a little bit of set. And I'll say, so you guys are all done as a couple. Now I've switched back, okay? And again, a lot of times I'll save that shot for the very, very end, but since I did it there, Matthew, let me step you out while you are right there and that lighting is still the same. Weight on this foot, point this toe right that way. Nice back profile from her. Okay, is down facing camera. Let me take you one step backwards, sweetie. We're not in the center. Good, right there. Okay, this is the shot that all the brides love. It's a beautiful picture. Light's coming across. It's going to show all the ripples and the detail of her gown. She's going to get a nice little profile light on her. That light would be right there, F8. F8 on my lens. Bare bulb now is only going to give me F4 maybe. Okay. Boom, she's going to get a great dramatic shot. Look at your light, make sure it's firing. You're counting on your radio slave, make sure it's firing. Okay, Beautiful. From there, turn that off. Dave is now walking away with it. Just turn and look right at the camera a little bit for me. My cone's back on. All right, we're right here. Good. Switch back to, well, in fact, I don't have to switch anything because once I went to bare bulb, it was going to give me that anyway, so I don't have to switch anything. Good. Looking right there. Beautiful. Again, right there. Beautiful. Let me put a little misty vignette or drop your bouquet down just a little bit. Good. And just turn your shoulder this way a little bit more. Really turn that way. There you are. A little tilt of your head just like that. Beautiful right there. Good. One more time. Beautiful. Last one that I would do with the bride is bring her out here. And this is a very pretty shot. I turn them right here. Wait on this foot. Point this toward my camera. Good. And again, I might do one hand down, one on her dress. That's all you're with there. She's doing it beautiful. See what that gives you once you do that? The S-curve of that dress. By doing that, by shifting that in there, and it really gives you all those beautiful angles in there. Okay, so we're going to fix that up. Might go right here and just let her hand just come down and feature the ring. I'll detail her hand a little bit. Let that rest out. Free air conditioning.
Summer months, you'll love that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm going to Mexico in August.
Fluff it more.
Yeah.
Are there any photographers in the house? Okay. All right, so let's really get that little angle. Beautiful. Drop that shoulder back at us. So just something like that, kind of real nice, fashionable. And again, she's very petite. She's elegant. She's able to go into a pose easy. If I've got a 250-pound bride that can't do that, I don't do this pose. Then I just have her go into a straight, traditional, nice, the low shoulder, masculine tilt. But again, knowing stuff so when you get that right couple or that right bride that you can do it, having it and doing it. So that's my last series of the bride. Boom, boom, 2 shots. Thank you very much. You're done. I bring our groom back up here. Okay, so it's usually 3 to 4 shots of the bride alone. Matthew, let me stand you right up there. Let me put your weight on one foot here and point the other one out just a little. Hands in the pocket. I fix the cuff. I'll fix all the details. Good. Right there. Good. I'm back over here. Get in. Boom. Right there. One more. Matthew, your right knee's way too stiff. Let that bend a little bit. There you are. Good. Put all your weight on your left knee or left foot. There you are. See how much more relaxed that was? When you had that knee straight, that left knee, see how funny that looks? Go ahead and bend it just a little bit. And point that, and watch this, guys. Point your right toe at me a little bit, Matthew. A little bit. Right there. Huge difference. 1 inch in there. Focus in between every one. Because if you focus the first time and you're out of focus, now every picture you've done is out of focus. Okay? All right. And then Matthew will turn you this way. Good. Let's take your hands right down. Good. We'll button you up for a little different look. Weight on the opposite foot. Good. Just right there. Just straight down. Give him a slight tilt. Boom. 2 shots. He's done. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
You don't need this anymore, do you?
Nope. Good to go. Thank you. Okay. That's my whole series at the altar. Now that entire bride and groom together, bride and groom alone, if I'm flying, should take me about 7 minutes. Okay? And really it's the switch over that takes the longest, or if I try to get in that extra shot. All right? And that's all it is. And if I really have time, when I do that last one there, I'll bring that bride out here, that pose we did, add the groom in, do a regular one, and then I like going right down low and putting my fisheye in. Okay? Now, let's talk about, since we don't need, let's see. Do we want to do any more groups up here? Is there anything else you want to see solved before we switch gears? I want to show you 2 more little things here. Anything else you want to see up at the altar? Anything that doesn't make sense out of what we did?
Let's talk about one variant
Sure.
I frequently run into where
Okay.
I have either young women or older women that are particularly large.
I answered that.
Okay.
And as a result,
Rob.
they tend to be short.
Can I my 270-pound bride again? Well, here, I guess here's what I do. I
They're
don't.
short, obviously, they got to be forward.
Yeah, because when I was mentioning, who asked me that?
I did.
Oh, he was asking, what do you do when you got someone really large? And I said, problem is usually if you get someone really large and it's a woman, she's also about this tall. She's about this wide, about this tall. Can I go in the back row? Sorry. But what I will try to do, if I can, is get her up on a stair and get kids in front of her. And they'll always appreciate that. And I will try to hide her as much as possible. But occasionally I've just had it where everybody is, 5'8", 5'10", and she's, 4'11", and there's just no way I'm going to get her anywhere but the front row. And I've had to apologize and say, ma'am, if I put you anywhere else, I won't see you. Nothing I can do, So I'm just stuck with that. But it will not change how I pose. I might only do a little convenience to her. Let's say she was this tall and the other bridesmaid was, a little shorter than her, okay? And where normally she might be a front row, or actually the other way around. She was, 5 foot and the shortest bridesmaid was 5'4". Well, normally I would put her here, but maybe I will, put her up here and get a little block and raise her up. Just for her sake to hide her a little bit.
And you do some things this way.
And yeah, and that's one of the things we talked about. So normally if you've got someone up here and all of a sudden you're used to them occupying this much space, but now they're really occupying this much space, I also loosen up the group a little bit too.
What about balance between the person that she's standing next to, which many times will be smaller?
I'm sure I've ran into my share of heavy people, and I don't remember having to do anything special to solve that. Again, I think because if she's creating that little space, now on that side I got to create a little more space. That's what I mean by loosening it up a little bit. Whatever I do to the left side, I do to the right side. If you get a church that has, that occasional wedding where they'll say, we got 2 hours to do our altar groups. We're not going to a park. Reception doesn't start for 4 hours, and what do you want to do? All right? So let's go to 2 last things that we can do, and they're going to be down at that end. So why don't we, we'll stop taping and we'll just move everything all the way to the very back. We're going to finish up at the end of the church and we'll be out of here. All right, so when you get that special couple and that special church that allows you and you have the extra time, which I know, again, doesn't happen all the time, but once in a while you're going to get it. I say, hey, guys, how about we do just a couple of extra things? I say, Dave, can you put on my 105? Okay, and I'm only shooting from about right here, which would be about 8 feet away. So I'm now shooting 3/4 length. Okay, starting with. So I'll bring your bride and groom and say, come here, guys, let's do just a couple extra things. Now, because my flash is traveling so much shorter, my light fall is going to be greater, therefore my background is going to be darker. So I open up 2 more shutter speeds, okay, to make that background lighter. So let's say I was shooting at, an 1/8 of a second at the altar, okay? Let's say I was shooting at 5/6 at 1/8 of a second. Now I come up here, I'd go 1/4, half. And I say, guys, remember we stayed for 2 seconds at the altar? Now we're going to stay for 4 seconds. We're going to really lengthen this up. Okay, I always over-exaggerate everything so they know to stay there. I don't want them moving through these. So here's what we're going to do is we're going to do just kind of a little fun portrait series. And we're going to use that great church as the background here. So let's do just a couple things here, maybe something real fun. Let's see, let's bring you on that side this time since you were over there all the time on these. Bring that out. Let's throw your hand right up over her shoulder. And again, you can come up with whatever poses you like. Some of you will recognize these poses from before. Okay. Just let it rest right there. Okay, not breaking the wrist. I've got the rings there. Good. You have to throw your hand in your pocket. Good. Just a little lean back. Beautiful. I'm just going to kind of have a little fun with these. I'm just going to sneak off 3-4 shots real fast right here. Good. And they're 3/4 length, so I don't have to worry about the gown. Okay, so I'm snapping right there, something like that. Again, 1, 2 shots. Okay, let's see. Let's turn right to your hubby there. Let's take these right out here. Let's throw your hands right up around his collar. Just get some real kind of fun. Good. Looking right over. Just like that. Beautiful. Right there. Great. Bam. Oh, that's really good. Bam. Number 2. All right, let's do. Yes, and if I had time. If not, it's bare bulb Charlie. Okay, it's right on there. Just a bare bulb. Normally, yes. So I'd have that hitting him at 5/6. I'd be on 5/6. My bare bulb from 8 feet is going to be hitting him at probably f4. I got a 5/6, I got a 4. My lens is on 5/6, 5/6.5 at a half second. That's my shot. Okay, so I'll do a 3 or 4 pose series from there. Could be anything real fun, could be kind of serious, could be whatever. Yes, ma'am.
Could you show us a couple ideas maybe of using the pews, like leaning on a pew?
Yep.
Or...
Okay, so let's do, if we, and again, see I set my little thing back there showing you I had a bare bulb light behind them. Okay, that's where I'd put it back there. I'd have 3 lights. If I had time, if I don't, that goes. If I have even less time, that goes. Okay? Then I have to meter and expose for that flash if I do that, obviously. All right? So let's do something kind of fun. Let's keep you right here, Matthew. Let's bring you back over here. Tell you what, my friend, let's see. Now, let's get you in. Let's get you, I don't know, let's see. Something like this. I don't know, let's get you in. There you go, something like that. That feels comfortable. And the one thing I always got to look at is he the same height as me? If it's Robin or Lawrence I'm trying to pose that, he ain't going to reach this thing. He's going to be looking like this in the picture, so I can't do that pose. If I see the same height, I can do anything I can do, he can do. Okay, and that's real important. Believe me, I've tried it 1,000 times. I try to do this and say, hey, Rob, do this, and Rob's going, I'm thinking, why isn't it working? Well, he's a foot taller than me, okay? So let's get you in something like that, buddy. Good.
Get that collar out there.
Good. And again, we'll detail all the stuff here. If I was doing a little too much lean. Let's get you a little more stand up, a little more relaxed. Good. There you are. All my weight's on my left foot. Right knee is barely bent. There you are. Good. We're going to look at your bride, not at me. Good. Right there. Beautiful. Sneak it one step forward. Bring this down. I detail the dress. Okay. Again, probably shooting a 3/4 length. Maybe I'd drop to a shorter lens. Might do it with a 65, but something a little selective focus. Okay. So my bride is here. Again. So I'm going to get masculine lighting on her. Perfectly fine. A little bit's going to spill right off on him. He's going to get a little highlight on the side of him. Okay.
So your separation is only 1 or 2 views.
Yeah, could be more if you feel like.
I didn't know how soft you wanted him to go, and that's why it's the question.
Your choice. Okay. So just the idea is to break the rules. Okay. Have a little fun with it. I got my safe ones. Now I can play a little bit. So I can do something like that. Let's try something else here. Matthew, let's bring you right over here. Let's see. There we go. Matthew, I'm going to get a nice leading arm right in here, just like this. Sneak right in. Good. Good. Now let's say I got that nice stained glass over there, something like that. I'd steal that shot of him alone real fast. Right. Bam. Stay right there. That's a great shot. Okay, stay right there. Come on over, sweetie. Let's try 2 different poses here. Hold your bouquet with this hand. Good. 3 hand right around, hubby. Good. Let me give you a nice little lean right in. Beautiful. Good. Very nice right there. Bam. Okay. Good shot. All right, so a little fun. Now, I say, oh, stay right there. We'll do one more thing. Here's the end of our series. Fisheye. Okay. Now I got to fix all that, right? Okay. Yep. So I got to hide the light. Now what I'd probably do is I'd say, Dave, give me number 2. Dave would pick this up, and Dave would go right here. Depending where, I'd have to keep walking him till he was out of the fisheye. Okay. And I'd move him, and I'm moving him from the camera. Diane's shaking her head. I've done it to her, right? So wherever I'm telling her, 1 more inch, 1 more inch, 2 more inches, 2 more, you know, okay?
Then the church lady starts walking back.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
So I'm like, Dave, go get the church lady, you know. Oh, God. All right. So nice little fisheye one, and then once you got that fisheye on, there's 2 little shot series here.
Remember the prayer books deal?
Oh, yeah.
If you can, well, see, we're shooting this way and low with a fisheye. You're probably not going to see them, but certainly if you can see them, we want to get rid of them. Okay, last 2. Here we go. What we're going to do is you're going to sit right on the floor, right against that pew, right on this hip, just like this.
Okay.
Yep. Beautiful.
Very graceful, actually.
I don't want anything
Some of
jumping
these
out.
dresses, I'm sure.
Good. Matthew? Get you right in, something like that.
Okay.
Good. Notice the leading lines always are going to come in there. Might take these right out and let that rest. A little fixing.
Use the coat to cover the hole?
Yep, exactly. So, might just lay that in. Again, fisheye, I'm down here with it. Nice panorama of the whole church. Softbox would come right here now.
That's where you also could use the grid then to be able to just highlight her face.
Yeah, I mean, if you had time to put the spotlight on and do it, by all means, it's $1 million shot. I've only done that once. Put the spot on, got them right there, had a bare bulb fill. Now you've really jumped up in lighting quality. Okay, spotlighting we learned before. Okay.